Good evening and welcome to the November
Over there, all I
13th
have to
meeting
do
of
is
the
go
Board of
pee in
Selectmen.
the,
If you'd all rise for the Pledge of Allegiance, please. Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thanks for telling me we had a meeting.
All right. Again, welcome, and those of you joining us or on cable or in person. First order of business tonight is a public hearing to review and adopt new maximum levels for general assistance. So I'm going to ask Nancy Johnson to step right up to the mic. Go ahead.
This is our yearly change of numbers for, this year's change is just housing. I believe you all have copies. The last two numbers are the only ones that changed for a household of 3 and a household of 4. They've gone from $795 a month up to $928 a month, from $185 a week up to $216 a week. That's for unheated. Heated has changed from $214 a week to $247 weekly, monthly $922 up to $1,061, and that's for heated. And for a household of 4, it's gone from $188 to $216 weekly unheated, $807 to $928 monthly unheated, $231 to $250 heated weekly, and $992 to $1,073 a month heated. That's the only changes we have this year.
Any discussion? This is always a very, very, active discussion that we have when this comes up every year.
Well, it's sort of like motherhood and apple pie. How can no one wants to criticize it.
The state sets these rates, right?
Correct.
Now, we do not have to adopt these, correct?
Correct.
But we would then have to
We have to do a survey.
demonstrate. Right. All right, so any comments from the public? Questions?
Are we going to get any additional funding from the state because of these increases?
We still are at the 50% level. Whatever we spend, we only get 50% back. So as these goes up, that'll be half that much more.
Okay.
So yeah, it would be a small
I
increase
think so. That answer probably is yes, only relative to the rate.
to those numbers.
Right.
Yeah.
We get 50% of the increase reimbursement.
Right.
Of the total,
Yeah. So if
Yes.
it went up $10, we'd get 5.
correct.
Based on the housing that you're seeing and what we are paying,
Mm-hmm.
how do the increase in the state rates fit with the rent in this area?
They're under. Our rents in this area run anywhere from $650 to about $1,100, and $650 being a trailer in a mobile home park. Some of those are up to $750. Renting a house is more towards the $1,100 mark. The highest we have here, and if it's a family of 4 living in it, a family of 5, I should say, and they're only giving you $928. So if it's a big enough house, the rent's definitely going to be up there. So, but we're only supposed to be doing like 75% of what the rent is, anyways.
So if we opted not to go with the increase and we had to do the survey, would we meet the survey criteria to justify keeping it lower, do you think, or are the rents going to be high enough that we would still be forced to go to what the state is
I think
recommending?
the majority of the rents are high enough that we're still going to fall into this category. They would paying the 75%, and it's still based on the number of people in the house. I mean, if we've got a lot of people around town, there are only 2 and 3 people, it's going to be lower. But we've got some good-sized families, 5, 6, 7, 8 people, and so we'll be in the higher numbers.
And as far as general assistance for housing, where are we falling with what we're paying out for general assistance and housing? Are you seeing that still? I know we had looked at, we were gonna make some changes to folks that were coming in for housing assistance.
We did make some changes. We made the change of if we felt that their housing was beyond their need, beyond their income level, we would make them look for, we've created a form to make them look for cheaper housing. And we've had to do that for a couple. What I'm seeing, housing's pretty regular.
Okay,
As
so
far as the
we're not
request.
having, it hasn't gone down, it's kind of stayed
It's kind of
status
staying
quo.
level. I was kind of looking back in August, we had like 5 cases. A couple were housing, a couple were just personal hygiene. This last month, we've had 13, so we've jumped significantly between oil and rent. So housing is still right in there.
The organizations that provide assistance, fuel assistance, are they pretty consistent this year as they've been in the past?
The monies have not come in yet. The no will be in probably till the end of this month for the first round of people. So I haven't heard any dollar amounts yet, but they were going to be lower than last year. But they've had thousands of applications already.
They're going to be lower than last year,
The
and
amount
our
they're
fuel
getting-
costs are going up this year.
So the municipalities will have to pick up the slack, basically. We'll see more applicants for oil, which I've already seen a huge request for oil. Some are just getting nervous and trying to get ahead of everything, and some.
Do they contract independently for fuel, each of these places, or would it be cheaper for the town if we contracted with one service so that we could get a reduced rate because of bulk purchasing?
We already do that
We already do that.
with 2 different companies. We get it. We've talked to them, set up accounts with them at a discount rate.
Okay. So we're not relying on the landlord to provide.
Correct.
You know, heating oil is gonna be pretty bad when you see a local bank advertising on their marquee out front, low interest,
On oil
heating
loans.
oil loans.
Yep, they did that last year as well. Yeah, it's gonna be a tight year. We've only had a couple donations for it so far, so it's.
Anything else? Any other questions, comments? We will bring to close the public hearing. Thank you, Nancy.
Thank you.
And, we'll address this later.
Okay.
Okay, any announcements for this evening from the board?
Just one, for those that knew him, Steve Harding has passed away. He was a longtime member of the Alfred Fire Department, as State Forest Ranger, and was with EMA at the county level for years. He's been an instructor and widely known and widely respected for his, hazmat training and so forth. And, he'll certainly be a resource that's sorely missed, as well as just his presence. So our condolences go out to his family and at this, the time of his passing.
Okay. Anything else from the board? Moving along, our appointment this evening is being pushed, at least for a week, if not 2. So we will reschedule that with Doug Foglio Jr. Hearing a delegation. Anybody that would like to be heard? Sensing none. Correspondence for the week, Treasurer's Weekly Financial Reports, Assessing Agents November Calendar, Motor Vehicle Agents Reports for the month of October, Ecomaine Recycling Report, year-to-date totals, and the 11/11 Planning Board Agenda. Reports from staff and initiative, Assessing Agent Gerard.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, members of the board, you should have 2 abatement requests. Number 1322 1322 is a duplicate tax bill that we discovered only recently. A permit was taken out on this property, but the unit was not built. Somehow there was a transposition of the figures, but it is a duplicate tax bill that needs to be abated. Number 1323 is a merged lot. It was divided, a barn was built. I think for 1 year it might have been assessed separately. This past year it should have been merged into the owner of the entire parcel, and we did do that. The only problem is that this particular bill was not deleted, and therefore it's a duplicate again. So both are under the category of duplicate bills.
When was the first duplicate discovered?
Which one?
Excuse me?
Which one, sir?
The first one, the 22?
Oh, number 22?
I guess a better question is, how long have we been requiring this person to pay tax? And do we owe
First
them?
time.
Oh, it's the first time?
Yes.
Okay, so
I see what you mean. Yeah.
we're just abating the money, we don't owe him any?
No, this
Okay.
is just abating the money.
Okay, does that apply to the second one as well?
That's correct.
Okay.
It's not the first. We don't owe any money. What it is the duplicate that made its way to the system. So they're both the same category.
Okay, any other questions, comments? All right, what's the board's pleasure?
I move we accept Jerry's recommendation.
Second that.
Moved and seconded, accept the assessing agent's recommendations on 1322 and 1323. Any further discussion? Sensing none, all those in favor? Opposed? Thank you, Jerry.
Welcome. Thank you.
Town clerk, election recap.
Good evening, all. This is election recap. I thought we would go over some of the numbers of the municipal ballot. I did leave copies in your packet of the state referendum questions as well as the election itself for you. I just want to start by saying that there was over 3,637 ballots casted, which was a lot. Of that, we had 877 absentee ballots, which I felt like was a lot. But on question one did pass. Question one was about the construction of the winter sand and salt shed. And I'm sorry, it did not pass. The yes vote was 1499 and the no vote was 1999, with 138 of those blank. On question two, which is about the fire hydrants, there was 2541 yeses, 996 noes, and 56 blanks. On question three about the charter, the changes in the charter, there was 2,060 yeses, 1,185 noes, and 391 blanks. On registration day, on election day, we had 360 new registered voters to town. And the days before that, 7 to 10 days, we had 281 for a total of 641 new registered voters in Waterboro.
That's good.
I think it's a record. I think it's a record. With that said, there's obviously a lot of post-election activity going on in the CVRs. The state's required mandates for timelines on almost everything going right through to the 15th of December. So with that, we're trying to hustle around to get the election happy, everybody up at the state of Maine happy. We had one special circumstance absentee ballot that came in on November 6th, on the election day itself. It was from a resident here, Steve Moody, who left Friday or Saturday to go down to the Carolinas to work the devastation that was going on down there. So the state literally came and picked up our ballots, flew them down to them, and brought them back, and they were gone 5 hours and 37 minutes. That's the first one I've ever had, and Nancy said she'd never seen it either.
Delta Dash.
So, it's kind of neat. I can't say I'm not,
35 of them that they were taking down?
yes, throughout the East Coast. So, the state picks them up, the sheriff picks them up, the wardens of the state picks them up, they drop them off at an airplane, and away they go, and they come back hours later. It's amazing. It's amazing. But then the work that our Red Cross workers do is amazing too, so. But, without further ado, I can't say enough about the election workers. We had some awesome election workers. They worked very, very hard. As you know, we worked till late into the night, and then we resumed our counting Wednesday afternoon and finalized our ballot count. I want to thank Jim and Judy, especially for doing the absentee ballots. That was a great burden off my shoulders. They did a fantastic job. They worked tirelessly. Diane came in towards the end of it, Diane Holden, and she too jumped right in there, getting them all in order, all making sure everybody was there, all their paperwork was accurate, everything that the state wanted, they would have. So I can't say thanks enough. Robert Powers, Bridget, all of them that really dug right in and worked. It was a tough day. People that were supposed to leave at 2 stayed until 3, 4, 5 o'clock. We had large numbers, we had big crowds, we have pictures on our website if anybody wants to see them. They all worked hard, and I thank them for that.
And part of the new registrations too is because the state scrubs them if they haven't, what is it, 3 years, if they haven't voted in 3 years. So a lot of them that came in hadn't voted since the last presidential, so they had to reapply, so.
Reapply, and with that said, like I said, a lot of work was in the behind the scenes that it's not just taking that registration card, it needs to be validated, it needs to be put into the computer, it needs to be scanned into the computer, it needs, there's, filing, all of it. There's a lot of work to that, but with that said, we had a nice turnover of new or renew applications for registered voters.
And what was the reaction of people who came in and realized they'd been taken off the?
It was, I would think it was all right, because a lot of them, you can let them
right.
know that the state, this is what the state does every 3 or 4 years. So a lot of people accepted that and took that with stride. A lot of them had their personal information was what they needed, like their driver's license with their residencies on it. So it was just a matter of sitting down and making out more paperwork.
And I'll say I'm at 99.9% of them came in was what they needed. If their picture ID didn't have their physical address, and we said, do you have your motor vehicle registration? They would go out and bring that in. So, yeah, there wasn't.
And a
It
lot of
really
it,
went smoothly for the people. They were prepared.
and I think a lot of it too is we diligently advertised that fact that you could still register to vote on election day, but you needed the right documents. So I think that stress of the media coverage and people, and it wasn't just us. I mean, all the channels were doing it too. They were saying, if you want to register to vote that day, you need physical ID and proof of residency. So the whole media coverage, not just what we did here, but the whole media coverage, I think made a difference.
I'd be interested in the percentage of eligible voters and actual voters there was. It seemed like a real large number here. Do you know what the number of eligible voters are?
Well, Nancy found in her records that the last presidential election there was over 4,000 that voted. I don't
And we
remember.
had over 1,000, 1,300, I can't remember, absentee ballots that time.
So I guess historically I could find that information out for you. I don't have it
So I
tonight.
think what you're asking is how many registered voters do we have?
I don't know. I keep putting them in.
Versus
I got
the number of
360
people
to
that
put
actually-
in.
Yeah, are we getting 75%,
Is it-
80%?
I think the last count was like 4,700.
Oh, okay.
All right, so I mean, that's a ballpark.
That's a
I mean,
ballpark.
Even though the changes on a,
Yeah, it's
pretty
going to change a
dynamic.
lot more when I get done, yeah.
so pretty good turnout.
It was a good turnout.
Of the people that registered to vote, do you break that down as to whether or not, because I noticed that Nancy said that there were new voters and then the re-registers. I would assume that the re-registers we could take out of the mix, but of the new voters, do you track whether or not those are actually new residents of the community, or are there some of those people that have reached voting age that already live in the community? I'm just trying to get a
I'll be
gauge
able
of,
to do that when I finish databating with the state. I'll be able to pull up different records and different questions like that question. But until that data is all into the state, I can't just guess.
Yeah, it will pull out if there are new registrations, if their address changed within the municipality, if there was,
If they were 10 people from Lyman, 100 people from Portland, it will break it all down to where these people are coming from or where they resided last.
okay, so we can tell whether or not we're seeing an increase in population versus just people within a household that might have been 17 last year and they're 18 this year.
I mean, I saw some of those, but I couldn't tell you if I saw 10 or 50.
Yeah,
I mean, you were seeing a lot of households with the turnover of the ages. I'm not 17 anymore, I can vote.
there are a lot of new agents, a lot of 18.
Yep, a lot of the younger ones came in. We saw a lot more, I saw an increase on the state side because you could register to get your ballot on the state website. And I saw a huge increase in college kids. And a huge increase in college kids that were not registered voters. So, again, another time-consuming thing to send them all the information to get their ballot.
So, do we know, you made a comment that, in your numbers here, 360 people registered the day of the election.
Oh, yes.
Of the, and let's take the absentees out, 877 you said, right?
No, 360 came that day.
Okay, but there were 877 early voters,
Mhm.
right? So only 2,760 people voted a week ago today, physically went through the voting booth.
Yes,
Right.
because my absentee ballots
13
went through the machine.
13% of the people that physically voted last Tuesday
Were absent.
registered the same day. Pretty significant number.
That's a
I
lot,
think.
that's a lot.
How many last presidential, do we know? Voted, registered the day of election? Because that's one of the
Pull that back
hot.
out again.
hot-
We
that's
could
one of the
pull
hot
that out,
buttons,
and that's
right?
probably something we should pull, that statistical data, and log it for all those years right to this year, and then continue to log them as a yearly function. How many Democrats, how many Republicans, how many Green Party, and how many unenrolled, and be able to keep more of a track year to year, who did, where we.
I would think the political parties would want that information anyway, right?
They get that from the state,
I would
though,
say
they
the
don't get
ones
it
that
from
I
us.
registered that day, there was very few that changed party. It was mostly new registrations or change in their address within the municipality.
Within the municipality, yeah.
But a lot of new.
I know the delay in counting the ballots was because of a malfunction of the machine, is that correct? Wasn't that a new machine that the state had sent down?
The state refurbished it from Holton, so it was refurbished just like ours, because our ballots had already been ordered, so we were very selective of what we could get from machines, because we already had a ballot. But in June, we have the brand new one, the one the state's rolling out. Everybody's gonna have the same thing. Everybody's gonna have the same ballot, anywhere you go. And the state will do the programming, not us anymore. So we were kind of
Does
stuck.
that give you a warm feeling?
Huh?
Does that give you a way warmer feeling?
Oh, 4:30 in the morning, I was thinking, yes. Last time with this machine. Last
She
time.
threw away all the paper rolls.
We made confetti out of it, and I was like, oh, we don't need these. We only have 2 left.
Well, we've been 3-4 years waiting for the state to come up with a new
Oh, longer than that.
system, right? I mean, we
It's
put
been a
money
long time.
away a number of years ago, right?
Mhm.
I know there was some municipal, I believe it was Kennebunk or Kennebunkport, their ballot machine went down to the point where
They
you were
started
having to
hand
do hand, there was a box and you had to put your ballot in the box and they all got counted by hand.
I think, oh, we didn't have to do that, but
Yep.
makes you nervous when they don't work, because that's the next alternative, is hand counting. But it was a good election. It was a great turnout. We had it catered. The catering worked real well. We didn't have to run after foods. We were all there. The people that needed to be there to be able to answer questions or figure out if that they could do this or they could do that was there. And that was the important part. The people that could answer the questions were all there.
You look up, you had 3 lines, and we had, at some point, I think there was 6 or 8 people in line to register at the same time. And we just had, what do we have, 3 seats?
You had 3, yeah, each of them had 3 seats, but we actually had to start having Nancy start registering down on the lower end. She was doing absentee ballots. We really needed to get her to do a few of those cards to get those people moving.
So when does the, what's the hurdle rate to say you need 2 voting machines?
Well, we're gonna look at that next year because the state's given us 2. So
They've
we're
done
gonna
such a
program-
wonderful job putting all this voting equipment together.
Well, we had talked about it would be a lot easier, like at this election, 1 machine for state and 1 for municipal.
And it's gonna be that way in June when we have water in town, in state again. But we'll have 2 new machines.
In June, you're gonna have 600 voters.
Yeah, but it's still, you gotta hand count. The hand counting is the
Understand.
challenge.
You would be hand count.
All right, anything else, Yvette?
Any other questions?
I just know when I went in at 3:30, usually it's very quiet at that time, and there was some long lines, and
I have to say, I'm sorry, I don't even remember seeing.
yeah, we talked, believe it or
I'm
not.
sure we did.
But you know, for the lines that were there, things were moving very quickly. It was very efficient. You didn't really hear anybody grumbling about standing in line, or I mean, the process probably took me about 20 minutes to
There was
go
a lot to
through.
read on the 2 ballots.
Yeah. I think what helped a lot this time is being more prepared, being very diligent about what I needed people to do, what I needed those clerks to do. And the extra helpers, we had a couple of extra helpers that were kind of keeping those lines moving. And, you know, saying, if your alpha's over here, you go over here. If your alpha's over here. That made a huge difference. People weren't confused as to which line to get into because they were already told, get in the middle line or get in the left or the right. I think that was a big help. This year, too, we had the opportunity of being able to save some parking spaces, which I think made it a huge difference for some of our elderly people not to have to walk so far to get to the bowling place.
Well, I was going to say,
Thanks, Nancy.
from what I saw, you know, a good job to you and everybody that was involved in the process. It seemed like, you know, things were moving very smoothly at the polling place.
Yeah, and when there was a glitch, and every election has a glitch. In fact, you told me I could just about count on it. Every election has a glitch, and we had our glitches, but it was easy to figure out what we had to do to fix it. And then the great part was there were many heads. You could say, all right, what do you think about doing this? Or what do you think about doing this? How do you think this would work? And be able to brainstorm to come out with the right answer, which would kept everything moving smoothly. I mean, Dave Lowe hooked us up a wonderful computer system with a printer and a scanner, and we actually had to make copies of things. It was like, to have all of that resources right there at your fingertip made a huge difference.
And having the handboard to warm my hands up in the locker room worked well, too.
Yes.
So
It got so cold.
But I was
when we
really
were in
gonna-
the locker room,
we're
use the
headed to
handboard.
the freshman academy after this for voting?
Yep. I'm gonna go take a tour of it, go down, look it over, and have to call the state and move our fax line and stuff like that. But I guess it's once, I don't know if there's a contract involved or if it's just a, here we go. But once we get authorization, we'll start the process of moving it.
Okay, thank you, Yvette.
Thank you.
All right, Clint. Our annual discussion of, are we gonna be open the day after Thanksgiving?
I don't know, are we?
I think so.
Get rid of our turkey gizzards
Get
and
rid of
stuff
the turkeys.
somewheres.
I thought we were, but
Those people that eat those.
What's the feeling of the board on Thanksgiving? Friday's a normal day, right?
Town hall.
Friday's a
right?
long day.
No.
No?
Do employees want to work?
you know how it is every year when this happens. Same thing comes up every year. And
I think given that you're only open on Wednesdays, Fridays, and the weekend,
yeah, we should be there Friday.
that
But
should be there Friday.
they're all saying that they'd like to have that day off, and they seem to think they're entitled to it. Keep trying to explain the whole thing, but it just don't get home.
If they work the regular schedule that the town hall and everybody else works,
You're
then
right.
they might have an argument.
I agree.
So they're closed Wednesday, is that the idea?
No.
They're open
We'll be open
Wednesday.
Wednesday.
Closed
And
Thursday, well, we're not there Thursday and
Open Friday.
open Friday.
I mean, that's where the
Friday,
trash
Saturdays.
is on Friday, kid.
Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
So let's,
Yeah.
while you're here, unless you guys feel we need to take a vote, I think the message is clear that we would be open that day. Christmas, there are no issues.
Monday and Tuesday.
No?
We're not open Monday, anyway.
No,
We're not open Tuesday. We are open Sunday,
That's right.
right? And New Year's is the same deal, right? New Year's is on a
Well, I
Monday.
guess we close 1 o'clock, is it? So I saw something in there. I think it's 1 o'clock. I saw something somewhere.
Well, something on Christmas
Sunday?
Eve, I think it is.
That's right.
On Sunday?
No, no, no.
Oh, no, Christmas Eve.
Oh, Christmas.
So,
Christmas
we're
Eve.
not,
I'd say
that's
don't open
not,
till 1 o'clock.
so we don't have a conflict.
Christmas Eve is on Monday,
That's right.
so it's,
I mean, if they had the day off on Friday, they don't get paid, right?
Right.
I mean, everybody else has a holiday. You know, I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to giving them Friday, shut it down Friday, but.
See, this is what always has been the, the gripe down there, that, that everybody else gets it, but they don't.
well, fire department doesn't get it, I mean, they're
I
gonna
know.
be working. Is the library open?
I don't get it.
No, we're closed that Saturday instead of Friday because we're not open on
It's
Friday.
by tradition, they don't get those off, because they're emergency services.
Yeah, it's a little, it's different, than
Well,
some of the other
I guess
departments.
my feeling is that, if we were open a normal work week, and normal being in this town, Tuesday through Friday,
Yeah.
then you would consider that that's probably would be, okay, everybody else gets that day off, you take it off. It's really not the case here, right? I mean, we're open 4 days. I guess you could make the argument, well, town hall works 4 days a week, transfer station works 4 days a week. And so I guess you could slant it in that direction, but, I don't know, it's a pleasure of the board.
Well, I think another thing is that I think historically, the guys at transfer station have felt they've been basically neglected. I mean, that's a feeling. Whether it's real or not, it's a feeling. So,
What's the typical, that's Black Friday. My guess is everybody's out shopping.
Yeah.
Do we have any idea of what the count typically has been for? Is it-
Usually when
20, are we keeping it open for 20 people?
it usually will be a slow day, but Saturday and Sunday will really be busy.
Sure. You're really only missing those people that would come on a Friday.
Yeah.
So, and Friday is typically slow.
Yeah.
Even regular. Wow.
Well,
I can go either way.
rather than belabor this, I'd make a motion that we grant the transfer station employees the day off on Friday.
I second.
Any discussion? No discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? Can go either way, like I said, so motion carries. Okay,
You want to talk about recycling rates? Year to date?
we're down everywhere, right? I mean,
We're down
in,
everywhere. We're down everywhere.
if you look at our tonnage, right, we're down in household waste, and we're down in 19.3% for the month. Did they have the year-to-date number here? Right. And we're 18.75% for the year, so, but, that being said, when you look at the household waste, did they put it in here? I know I got the report, I think I sent it out to the committee, right? The waste, you got it there?
I kind of broke it down because still having problems.
We were down 10% in household waste
Right.
and 7% in recycling.
But if you use,
I I would be more
Now,
concerned.
David's heard this before, and he used to say, well, I wish somebody would get the figures straight. Well, I take the figures right off the bill,
Yep,
and their figures in there do not match ours.
so,
Sometimes it's 6, 7 tons difference, and, you know, it's up and down all the time.
and that would be why, timing?
I don't know. No, it's not timing, because they bill us for exactly what he takes in a month.
So why don't you and I set some Friday afternoon or something?
The
Maybe
first
the
time I
Friday
think-
after Thanksgiving.
The first time I went down there,
You can
Dave,
have
I went down
leftovers.
there, and David said, we gotta get this straightened out. So I went down there, she said, it's your calculator, don't carry it out enough. So I started carrying it out, and it still didn't come out. And it's still, like, some months, they're saying we got 6 or 7 ton more of household waste, and that makes your figures all off. The figures that are on this are exactly what we're paying for.
These are the tipping sheets, basically.
That's right, I take it off the tipping sheet.
But I mean,
The
no,
weight sheet.
I mean, if he goes in like the last day of the month, but we don't get it until
We
the
get
following
billed.
month, that's included in this?
That's always included, because their bills
So
don't come out
let's
till-
get the things, and I'm in there once a month for the meeting.
Yeah.
And I can quickly skip over there some afternoon and meet with Kevin and say, you need to figure out why this doesn't jive.
But if you use the figures I got there, that's our recycling rates, and it actually puts our rates up a little bit. Some months it could be as much as 2 points.
Well, are they debiting down, my guess is they're debiting down anything that comes in from us that they feel is not recyclable, that they have to haul over to the,
See, I don't know if that's what they're doing or not. They didn't do that before. And every time I call in there, I get a different answer to this.
I'll see if I can help fix that.
See, I figured that maybe what they're taking out of, I don't know how they do it, but if they're weighing this, because it all goes out and goes into one bin, whether they're just giving us a percentage or what, I don't know. I don't think that's quite fair, but.
So, what you've got here is the number of household waste tons,
Right.
and you get the tipping sheets, right?
That comes right off our tipping sheets, what we're paying for monthly.
Send me a copy of all the individual, because you got them recorded by load, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Send me that file that sums up to this, right? The detail that sums up to this.
Okay.
I'll just ask the question. The load went in there on 9/23, and we get a way bill for, literally a way bill, right? A waste slip for it that says it was 9.2 tons, you know, what are they
Right.
recording it at?
Right. If you need that, anybody needs that now, it's all on the Waterboro Recycle, you know, the website.
Okay.
Every month is there.
So if it's there, I'll just pull it off from it?
Yeah, the only ones that aren't there is the last 4 to put on. But from now on, they will be right there. It's transfer station reports. Just look under that, and you can pull up any month you want, or any way you want to check it.
Right.
What, I realize the committee, Clint, probably got burnt out on recycling efforts over the last several years, but what is transpiring on the committee to educate or encourage people to recycle more? Is it a time to
Really?
gear up again?
Yeah, well, not much is happening. I mean, you know, every time it comes up to a vote, paper bag or something like that, and they get beat down, then they say, where are we gonna go from here?
Well, I'm not even considering paper bag. I'm just thinking of educating and encouraging people.
Yeah,
I look at Bridgeton, okay? They've got 2,000 or so less people than we do. They actually have 5,000 more tonnage,
Yeah,
but their recycling rate is almost 27%. Ours is 19. They're always doing something over there to promote recycling. What they most recently did is they got together with business and, I don't know, it was 15 to 20 business, because Bridgeton, even though it's a smaller town, has got a lot more going for it economically than we do. So they can draw on more business, but they gave out some free dinners, you know, for 2 people, or oil change, or Shawnee Peak ski pass for a day, and promoting recycling, you know? I mean, but it's always in front of people. So, you know, I know it's a hard role. I was there for 10 years, and it gets boring, and old, but.
I don't know if it's time to make the mandatory recycling, to put it into effect. I know you've all voted for it, to do it, but everybody just seems to, do we want to do it or not?
How would you do that? I mean, would you have like pull a number out of the hopper, and the 240th person to recycle on Sunday gets a prize?
I don't know, I guess what I'd do is to contact the committee over there and find out.
What they've done is there's a number of towns that saw drops, and it was driven by their business community not recycling anymore, so they've gone back and put some incentives in place for the businesses, all right? You know, you look at all the towns that are high here, mandatory recycling, and it's all curbside pickup, and they're picking up 2 buckets.
I use Brisbane because they're very similar to us. They don't have curbside pickup or a paper bag, you know?
Yeah, and they're 4 points ahead of us, I guess, on an annual basis, on a year-to-date basis. So we're 19%, they're 22%, so. But if you look at, you know, Cape and Scarborough and Saco and, you know, South Portland, they're all now picking up. They're picking, it's called curbside.
Right.
Hollis is up, they're curbside, and I believe those guys, if they see something that needs to be recycled, they leave it on they don't pick it up.
They don't pick it up, no.
So, it all comes at and I think we've had this discussion, David, before, all comes at a price, right?
Oh, it does, yeah.
There's either a sacrifice or you know, there's only so much that you can get voluntarily, and then it becomes an issue of a mandate, basically.
Are we showing any loss in these ratings because of the Hollis not using the services anymore?
Not
Has
much.
no influence on this part.
No influence?
But what we see for some losses is Dean still bringing in stuff, or is he bringing stuff down there in saying it's to credit Waterboro, or is?
What do you mean now?
Well, at one time he was taking stuff in.
To Ecomaine?
Yeah. And
He's not doing that now, no.
So
The only time I told him he could do that is if we have a really bad storm and it really fouls things up.
No, I'm talking about recyclables.
Well, let's go back to that. As far as Dean goes, and Bowley and Gammon, all them, they're bringing in a lot of recycling.
Okay.
It's your actual patrons, like individuals that are coming in that are not recycling. Now, we've been watching it, and Paul's been really watching it, and he figures about 1 out of 7 cars recycle. The other 6 go right by, and it all goes in the trash.
So, I mean,
And you go out, you say anything to these people, and it's their privilege, the way they feel. You know, if I want to throw it in, I can. And I just said, well, it's your money you're throwing in there. Your taxes are going to go up. Instead of going down, maybe, you know, I'll be in less.
You know, there's enough variance in the numbers here that it's really hard to find a trend or make a prediction of any kind. The only thing that you can really look at is say, as a whole, over the 3-year period, we're at a recycling rate of around 20%. And we're up and down from that. So the thing is we say we'd really like to be up around 25%. Then how do you do it? And you know, what does that 5% mean to us in savings? And is there some way of going through another promotion to try to get us up to 25, an average of 25%?
Maybe, Dennis, maybe you can get the figures from Kevin in there, because they took some of our loads and they dumped them on the floor, and it quickly picked it all out, what they could recycle. And I was told it could be anywhere to 50 to 60% that we're sending there to be
Well,
burned.
and that goes like with any town. I think
Yeah.
they still have the issue too with, even though you've got some of these municipalities that have got 2 curbside buckets, there's a machine picking that bucket up.
Yeah.
Right, the trucks, you know,
Yeah.
whatever's going in there is, you know, so I think you can peel any bag open and say, you know, there's some issues. Even the paper bag towns, even those towns that, you know, when you go into Ecomaine and you see the big loads of the purple bags and all that coming out of these towns that have paper bags, people got, you know, there's recyclables in those bags.
Oh,
It's a matter of choice. I mean, even when we went to it here,
Yeah.
people said, I'm paying for that yellow bag, I'm gonna put anything I want in the
Well, a
yellow
lot
bag.
of people too, and they're sincere about this, they think they're recycling.
Yeah.
They really do. And yet they're not, you know, fully.
So I think the message, David, is, you know, let's kind of see if we can revitalize, at least with a, and maybe maybe the committee has gotta work with the board and say, what's the goal? Do you want us to see what we can do to get it to 25%? Because there's gonna be a cost associated with that, be it a mandate or whatever the
Right.
case may be, and yes, you will have a savings. The real question is does it pay off?
And part of it is, I think as David said, I'm not sure that quite a few people may recycle, but they're only recycling 50% of the stuff that they can. And they're just living 3 or 4 years ago, that they're only recycling paper and they're not doing cardboard or something, you know. So, or certain types of cardboard. When you realize now you can recycle just about everything except foam cups, you know.
And the recycling market, unfortunately, has been way down. And that may very well be some play too. You don't know what those other guys are bringing into Ecomaine, so.
Couple thoughts. December, it's coming. It's always a big month right after Christmas for papers and all that. Maybe there's something that the committee could put out at the transfer station for a couple of weeks leading up into Christmas, reminding folks that here are the things that you can recycle. Sometimes I think if people need that reminder, you get into doing it and you kind of forget about it. So maybe a flyer could get put together that could get handed out to people when they come into the transfer station leading up to Christmas, reminding about what can be recycled then. And then the other thing would be when the spring tax bills go out, if there could be some kind of a flyer that would go.
spring tax bills.
Well, maybe we could look at doing some kind of a mailing that was just specifically geared towards recycling, like a
Well, the
flyers.
committee's got quite a bit of money there, they could do some of
So
this.
we'll make sure that Pat has that on the agenda for
Okay,
this one.
all right.
Have we had any communication with the schools and what they're doing? The schools?
The school, according to, and that's why I asked Mary and Lisa the night that they were here, what was done down at the middle school is now being mandated by budget in the other schools. So they're only given those sites X amount of dollars in budget to drive that recycling effort. So what David Pope did was zero waste or zero, I can't remember what the name of it was, but it was Chewonki and those guys that put that together, right? But everything that they found, they have what the value of that is for all the campuses. And that's supposedly going into the budget.
I will say that over at the middle school, that they have, their loads are really big when they come in now, and right up there. Somebody's evidently said, you gotta break the boxes down and pack this thing a little heavier.
So,
And that is working. I know they called me and wanted to know if we'd bring another container over there. This was back probably 3 or 4 months ago, before school started. And I said we didn't have one and we'd have to talk it over. But that gets expensive.
well, and it's really, it's, even though it helps out on the recyclable side, it doesn't give us a true indication of what Joe household
That's right.
is doing, because you got this artificial number of dumping 3, 4, 5 ton.
You know, it sounds like
School.
between the dean and the other carriers and the school, that a large portion of our recycling is not coming from households.
No, it isn't. It's coming from, yeah, you're right.
You know?
I mean, like these silver bullets out here now, it's one a week.
Yeah.
And they're pretty good loads too.
Yeah.
I will say that.
All right, let's make sure that we tee it up with Pat.
Okay. Do I give my report this week or next week? You gonna do them all next week? It's up to you, I don't care, one way or the other.
I would say, yeah, because we've got the library up
Okay.
here, so.
All right, can do that?
What we really wanted you for tonight was the issue of the holidays.
All right.
It's only me, it's
Ruth, come on down.
only me, Bridget's not here, Jack's not here, so.
Bridget's playing in Texas.
Yes, Bridget's down
That's right.
playing in Texas doing Mosaic, so if you can go on Facebook and see
Is
her
she
Mosaic.
just participating, or is she learning the next?
She's
Probably
participating.
both.
Yeah.
Yeah,
If she's participating, she's got enough pictures with her
Yeah.
sticking stuff on a wall, they're doing some kind of frog or something.
it is, she's
Frog.
learning a lot.
Yeah, it's a big giant Mexican frog.
She
it
did a
looks like.
couple of big snails and everything on the mosaic.
Wow.
Yeah.
Huge mosaic, so it's really good. So,
Right in the town of my brother-in-law.
yay. So the library's doing well, the outside's looking great, we have the signs lit up out in front, Pete did that. We've got the parking lots paved and all lined and everything, that's working really well with people using it the way they should. And the roof's done, so now we're concentrating on the inside for the coming years. Pete's putting in a CIP for some work on the inside, and he's hoping to get the bathroom done this year. We put that off a couple of years just because of money and things, so he's hoping to revamp that, tear it all out, and rebuild some shelves in there. We have to insulate the walls and fix the ceiling and check the wiring and everything in it, so that'll make that look much nicer. We have another board member now. The board voted to up the board from 5 to 7, so Sonia Durney has joined the board, and now she'll be getting the board. Linda Stapleton reapplied for the board, so now we have 5 members. We've been talking about this fall doing a lot of programming again. We started programming for the kids, so in September we had a nature craft. Kids came to the library, went out and collected leaves and acorns and different things, and they made pictures. They did people out of that. They collected rocks and put leaves and things on it, made some leaf people and things. So that came out really good. We had 11 children for that and the parents. In October we held pumpkin painting. This is the second year we've done that. We had 28 children for that, and they enjoyed that a lot. We had a problem with pumpkins in the basement. It was damp down there. We put them in a box and some of them rotted, but we were able to get more, so that worked out well. This Saturday we're doing a harvest basket craft. We did it last year and it was really popular with the kids. They have balloons and glue and yarn and get the glue in the yarn and wind it around the balloons and let them dry and pop them, makes a nice basket. So they have fun with that. They get nice and messy and they have something nice at the end of it, so they're enjoying it. That's this Saturday at 10 o'clock if anyone wants to come. In December, we're doing a Christmas ornaments with the kids. That's going to be December 15th. We have several different kinds of ornaments for the kids to put together and paint and things, so that should be fun. And we'll be having Christmas open house at the same time. We have snacks for that and different crafts all during the week for the children. Story hour started this fall. We have a smaller group. Last year we had about between 15 and 19 children. This year we average about 12, but it's a good group. They have a fun time at Story Hour. Heidi's doing it this year since I wasn't able to do it to start it, and she does songs and craft and several stories with the kids each week. For Halloween was on Wednesday, so the staff dressed up in costume and all the kids came in their costumes for a party, so they had a good time. We had candy upstairs after the program. They all got to come up and trick-or-treat upstairs, and
we heard a lot of positive comments from the parents because a lot of the little kids don't go out, so this way it was fun for them to have a little time of trick-or-treating. We've started again children's game time the first Monday of every month from 4 to 5 o'clock. David Cousino is doing a games time, board games with kids. This year he's made it from for grades 1 through 3. He and his son come, and whatever kids are around and want to come, they're very welcome to come. He has different board games. Some of them are teach sportsmanship with the kids, other ones teach them to work together, and there's no special winner, but they learn a lot, and the games are a lot of fun. The kids have a hard time going home. We're having a silent auction right now. It actually ends tomorrow, but if anybody wants to vote on bid on anything, they could come in tomorrow. We have a Napa Auto Parts $25 gift certificate. We have a really great Maine basket from SIS Bank with a lot of different Maine products and things in it. We have several people that made groups of cards, get well cards, Christmas cards, greeting cards that are in packages to bid on. We have handmade earrings. We've got several patrons that have been bringing items in, so it's really nice. And we've had people ask when our next auction will be that they want to submit items. And all that money is going to be used for books on CD for our patrons, both kids and adults. And that seems to work. We raise about $300, $350 when we have an auction. So it works really nice. E-books. I just want to remind people that ebooks are available through our card catalog. If you have a Kindle or a Nook or something, you can borrow ebooks through the library. We're hoping in January to have a class for people who receive Kindles or Nooks for Christmas and that. So we're hoping to get that together and teach people how to use it. We keep getting people in every week wondering how they can download books. So we're hoping that'll help people out.
People haven't discovered the e-books. That is the most phenomenal
It
thing
is.
that's out there. I can't believe how many books
Yeah.
I've read. Just you can explore different authors,
Yeah.
and it's free.
It is. There's so many free books. I have 4 sites that I get items come to me every day to see if I want to download things. So I broke down and got a Kindle. I probably have about 300 books on my Kindle of different kinds, and it's nice because especially with nonfiction, I do a lot of gluten-free cookbooks, and I can download them for free and see if I like them. And if I like them, I'll buy them. If I don't, I can just delete them and be done with it. And our book group has several people in it now that have Kindles, and it's an easy way to get a book. And I borrow a lot through our catalog, so it's good.
Now, those e-books, you have to have a Kindle for that?
You can have a Kindle, but if you have a computer, you can actually download from Amazon a Kindle app. And I do a lot of reading on the computer because it's easier on my neck right now. And that's free. Or if you have a Nook, you can download the Kindle app to your Nook. You just have an e-reader, and it works really great. So.
Kindle and Nook aren't the only ones out
No.
there. They're the one that my first e-reader that I picked up for $79.99 at the
Yeah.
holiday season. So, I would have spent that in a couple of months on
Yeah.
books. So it has more than returned investment.
And a family can get, the books are downloaded from Amazon, so like if you get a Kindle, your whole family you can have a Kindle reader for each one, and it all goes into the same account. You're allowed to borrow books in between people now, but they didn't let you do that before, so I could loan you a book once, or I could loan someone else a book once, so it makes it nice. So they're getting a little better. They're still hard on libraries. They don't like to, a lot of the big companies don't like to have libraries use the books more than so many times. They usually allow them like 26 downloads or so much per book. And it's the whole thing is you're borrowing the rights to read the book. You don't really actually own the book. But for patrons, it's great. And we have a lot that download books and then take them with them on the road. So we're at the library. We're looking for a digital camera where everybody's getting smartphones with cameras in them. The library's looking for a digital camera with at least 10 pixels that we can be taking pictures and download them right on our computer. we're looking to do that, see if anyone has one before we purchase one. So we figure there may be some around with Christmas coming and whatever. So if anyone has a camera, call the library and let me know. We're just a note, tomorrow we're having Lance from Maine Municipal is coming to work with the staff on the ergonomics at our workstations, so that'll be good tomorrow to have that done and see what we need to change, if anything. So just some statistics I have. August we had 1,013 people in the library. We had 125 people using the computers. We checked out 3,033 items, and we had 22 new patrons sign up for cards. September went down. A lot of people leave for the summer. We had 797 people in, 104 people on computers. Loaned out 2,457 items, but we issued 16 new cards. So we're getting new cards, new patrons every month. October we had 940 people in. 147 people used the computers, 2,521 items were checked out, and 16 cards issued. And items being checked out, that doesn't count ebooks because we have no way of keeping track of how many people borrow that. And I'd like to see from the state library if there's a way to tell by town at least how many people are using that service. So, but that's just some statistics that we have, so I don't know if you have any questions or.
Now that the parking lot is paved, do you see an increase in people that are using that for the Wi-Fi connection in there?
We have about the same amount. I know when I leave at night, a lot of times there's at least 2 cars in the parking lot using it. When I come to work in the daytime, there's at least 1 or 2 people in the parking lot. All during the summer, there's people sitting at the picnic table we have. And so there's probably at least 2 or 3 a day, and I don't know how many come in while we're working and use it and leave. So I know businessmen still come in and use it, but it's nice because they kind of park off a little bit. So that's why you can kind of tell who's using Wi-Fi. They stay away from the front of the library usually.
So question, David, is there a way to find out how many people tap into the Wi-Fi?
I'll look at that, see if I can capture MAC addresses. Yeah.
Just out of curiosity.
Usually I've seen, passing through there several times a day, I've probably seen on some days 20 different people in the library's closed, so I know it's getting used pretty well.
Is that posted down there that there's free Wi-Fi in the parking lot, or
No, it's by word of mouth.
just by word of mouth?
Just by word of mouth, people know. We've advertised it in Reporter different times, and that's to let people know. And it's on our website. It's on our bookmarks we hand out and everything. So, but usually we get a lot of businessmen that stop in and do their work, either inside or out. And even laptops, we get a lot of people coming with laptops and just sit in a corner. I have one lady that goes downstairs probably once every week or so and does schoolwork down there. It's quieter. Place she can do it at, and takes her laptop down there, so it's getting used quite a bit. It's really good.
I'm supposed to get over to the library Board of Trustees meetings, and I've been missing. So I'm not either, could you get me on the email list there?
Okay.
And there was one time I went over and it wasn't happening, and evidently I didn't get that information. There's other times I've missed it somehow. So if you can get me on that, I'll get over there much.
Okay, the next meeting is going to be on November 26th at 7. It's a Monday night because of Thanksgiving. We switched it to the.
Yeah, and the Monday
following
night
Monday.
sometimes runs into other things, but I would
I'll
at
let
least
you know.
divide it
You're
up.
done. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll let you know.
But if you have a trustees mailing list
Yeah,
or something like
yeah,
that,
I'll
if
get
you
you on
could get
that.
me on that, I'd appreciate it. Thank you.
I'll be done in 5 minutes.
It'll be done in 5 minutes, he said.
Anything else?
I think we're all set. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Forget about it. David's got it.
Okay.
All right, item 7, road commissioner, he's not with us this night, but wanted us at least to have the discussion and vote on what to do with the old gates. There's some suggestion that we put them on Craigslist or something.
We'll sell them for scrap.
What's your pleasure? You wanna try to sell them for other than scrap, or what?
I told him we also could put it on the main municipal
I was gonna say,
site. There might be somebody up there on there that might want them.
I'd say go main municipal first, and then if there's no luck there, then Craigslist or something, open it up to the public.
Yeah, I told him we need to clean them off first.
So the real question is you're looking for a motion to sell them rather than just scrap them?
I make a motion that we attempt to sell the gates.
I didn't hear that.
I make a motion we attempt to sell the old gates.
I'll second the motion.
Any discussion?
And we don't have to go any further than that. We're just basic, by making this motion, Nancy's available to get whatever she can for it.
Yep.
Great.
Any discussion? All those in favor? Okay. Selectmen's report. Start, David, anything?
Clean.
John? Selectmen's report,
Fine,
anything?
yeah.
All set?
Yep.
Gordon?
I'd just like to give the road commissioner, because we spoke about him, some high marks. I know the residents of the McLucas Road are really thrilled with the job that was done there to rebuild that road and to finally get it paved. I know I've lived on that particular road for over 40 years now, and it is nice to, drive on the pavement. And I've been looking at a couple of other areas in town where they've been working in Oak Street and Hemlock. They've also been repaved, and some ditching work has been done down there, and that's looking very good. Also, the New Dam Road is nearly 100% complete. They're waiting for a big machine to come in to do the shoulders. And they're also going to do Hemlock and Oak and McLucas Road all at the same time, and those roads will be completed. The New Dam Road has also been painted. There's a center line there. I know that some people are concerned because when the center line comes out to the Chapman Ridge Road, they say one lane is wider than the other, and that was done intentionally so that we don't have people coming off Chadbourne Ridge Road and cutting across the lane in front of people trying to get out. Is designed so that you need to pull up where the Chadbourne Ridge line and the New Dam Road line meet and make your turn then. It was for safety reasons that was done, because we were having a lot of problems with traffic that was coming down the hill on Chadbourne Ridge Road, playing bumper cars or dodgeball at the intersection, because people would kind of just swing right through there. And I know that there's some angst involved as well about the rocks that were placed there, and that was done obviously to get people acclimated to the direction of the traffic flow, plus not to use the land in back of that as a cutoff to go around, because then we'd be faced with the same problem again. But I know that they've been doing some, an awful lot of work, the road commissioner's office, and because the launch pad is done down there, and I know the dam is, they've got the hole sealed up in it now, so the water level is beginning to rise in the lake. I know that that'll be a source of easing minds, people on the lake that were experiencing some water issues. There is still work that needs to be done on the dam, and they've been doing that. They've been up there the last 2 days, for the entire day, getting things done. And the gates will be back in very soon. They've got some other maintenance repairs on the dam itself before those can be installed, but they, as the typical phrase he uses now, that'll be done within 60 days. But I'd just like to commend him on the work that his department's been doing, and they certainly have put that new excavator to work. Just good job all the way around. I know the people on McLucas Road are just tickled with that road. I mean, they did a really, really good job up there, and so, because they did ditching and everything else as well, so culvert installation, and so
Well, you mentioned things are getting done. The blacksmith shop over at the Taylor House is going up. Starting to put some of the roof on there, and it's. I was over at the fire department the other day and kind of came over and gave them some of my supervision from below. But they're doing.
They must have appreciated that job.
Oh, I can tell one person who really appreciated it.
No relative of mine.
I told him for an old man, he gets up and down that ladder pretty well.
That's, and just an aside on that, that's gonna be operational 2 days a week, once that's built as well, so. If you've got horses that need shoeing, I guess you can ride them over.
Trot them down.
Anything else, Gordon?
No, I'm all set now.
The budget meeting for last week got canceled. One thing that we did discuss at our preliminary budget meeting was that it's not going to take much to cancel meetings, just because there are some folks that are traveling from a lot of back roads. You know, we've got people from all over York County that are traveling, and the general consensus is we'd like to know by noontime if there's going to be a meeting or not. So because the weather was supposed to have turned icy last week, the call was made to cancel the meeting. So we'll have a meeting tomorrow night at 6:30. Because I'm going to be pretty busy with the budget committee the next couple of months, the road review committee meets on the second Wednesday of the month. They've got a meeting tomorrow night, so I won't make the November meeting, the December meeting, and I'm going to guess we're going to be going well into January. So I don't know if anybody else is available. I hate to see that committee not have anybody for 3 months.
Anything else from the board? I guess just to go with what Gordon was saying relative to New Dam Road. I know there's been a lot of displeasure with the fact that we've taken the speed turn out of the corner, and people actually have to come to a stop now before they go on the Chadman Ridge Road. But I trust everybody understands that that was done for safety reasons, and it's not something that we decide to do just willy-nilly. So when all's said and done, those of you that now have to come to a complete stop, you're now on equal footing with everybody else in the municipality that has to come.
There was a stop sign there all along.
Yeah,
I mean, that's what they're for, stop, you know? So
that was the reason, and we'll continue to work to make sure that it is a safe intersection. So, Town Administrator's report.
Couple of things here. Ron Smith, he and I's been playing phone tag or email tag. He wants to set up a workshop with the Selectmen.
To go over the audit?
Yes. I've finished all the research that was requested by the attorney, and there was a pretty good package that was sent out to them. In fact, it'll be going out tomorrow. And for an FYI, there is a possibility of a move afoot for towns with police departments and towns without to reapportion the cost for county sheriffs and communication services. I know this has been discussed at a previous meeting I went to. I spoke against it. I didn't think it was. The little towns like us are going to be picking up a big portion.
Oh, really?
Within the towns that have police departments. So.
But I think what they always forget is that the jail services are utilized more often by the cop towns because they have more people that are out there. They're able to do more community proactive policing. I see the list. I mean, it's the field I work in, and I can tell you that the Biddeffords, the Saukos, the Old Orchards, the Sanfords, the jail population is based on people that are being arrested in those communities. So if we're gonna, there's a wash there.
We'll take the railroad patrol, and they can take the cost.
Yeah, they can take the jail.
There was a spreadsheet that was put out. this morning, and it was brought back that needs to be redone to add those costs.
Yep.
So, I haven't seen the second spreadsheet, but. So, yeah, that moves it forward, and I'm not sure, has Tom made an agenda item yet for the CIPs? No, not yet.
Okay.
I know the deadline has passed for them, so he must be getting ready to put them forth.
Anything else, Nancy?
And the budget.
So, if we can't get everybody together with Ron, let's get as many as we can. And
This meeting, is this a routine setup meeting? It's not because there's some
Oh, no,
potential
no,
issue that
he
we need to deal
routinely
with?
comes, every year he comes in as a workshop with the selectmen for the audit. It's not anything different.
It's really an overview, right?
Yeah.
From his
Okay.
perspective.
No,
I just wanted to get that out there to the
Yeah,
public, so
no,
they
it's
don't
not
think
a-
that there's some underlying issue that needs to be addressed.
Would this try to be scheduled on the Tuesday, or? Yeah, okay.
All right. Moving on, discuss vote on committee appointment. We have a committee appointment this evening, even though the paperwork was made out for one committee. The applicant has agreed in principle to change that to the finance committee from the assessing board of review. So what's your pleasure on?
I will move that we appoint Don McDougall,
McDougal.
McDougall to the Finance Committee.
Second.
Any discussion? Sensing none, all those in favor? Okay. Did I go out of order here? No. Discuss a vote on, to adopt the new general assistance maximum levels of assistance for housing. Guess I would add. What's your desire there?
Make
Call
a-
him up.
Don't all speak at once.
Make a motion to adopt the new maximum levels.
I'll reluctantly second it because we almost have no
Any-
choice.
Discussion. Sensing none, all those in favor? Opposed? Discuss local referendum results. Before they do that, let me just jump back. Representative Libby is here. Any enlightening things that you can share with us?
Good evening.
Congratulations on your re-election, by the way.
Thank you much. Pretty much, up for another 2 times now, 2 years, so really excited, thankful to the community, Waterboro and Lyman residents. Very excited and looking forward to the challenges for the next 2 years, and kind of same thing goes, my home phone, 247-6461. I do a e-newsletter, so if anyone's interested in getting on that, I also do some periodic mailings. So that's rep.aaron.libby@legislator.maine.gov. So just connect with me there, and I can send out the e-newsletter, also Facebook and things like that. Another great way of sending messages out. So any questions, comments, concerns, feel free to get a hold of me. It goes for everyone, of course. And you guys can contact me too if you want to.
Thanks.
Wow.
Yeah, I think we were an afterthought there.
I believe they can also get your email from the state's website as well.
Yep, all the
At maine.gov, there's a whole list of everybody to.
correct.
in
All
case
the
they
chairs,
can't
all the
remember that
committees.
spiel or
Yep.
exactly where the dot goes.
Yeah.
So,
So
It was a most interesting election, I thought.
it was.
I mean, and as far as the results and all the money that was pumped in for certain state offices, and it didn't help. And then John Martin from Eagle Lake, I almost fell over
Yeah.
when he did not get elected. I mean, he's part of the brickwork.
yeah.
So,
I saw one article that said the price tag is still being determined, but they're thinking that there was over $6 billion spent on elections across the U.S. this year.
Helped out the economy.
And you know, I don't know of any person that liked the advertising that they were subjected to over the past 3 months or even longer. And almost everybody was irritated by it, and yet it comes on and $6 billion worth of it.
And I will say this, Aaron. I don't know who the hell sent all that junk mail of yours. All right? But, I mean...
Is it junk mail because my face is on it? Just curious.
Well, not... Okay, I don't mind getting one a day, but when they get 3 and 4 one day, you know, for like 3 or 4 days in a row, it's like, okay, Libby, back off. And I don't think you had anything to do with it.
No, as I said to all the residents, look at the bottom, and when it says not paid for or authorized by any candidate, that means I didn't pay for it or authorize it, and unfortunately I have no control of it one way or the other.
That is the amazing thing. The candidate has no control. I mean, that is
I would have rather just
ridiculous.
contributed the money to my campaign, and then I would have had to buy more signs and a new truck.
I mean, it's...
But no, that's one of the that when we have campaign contribution limits. Once limits are made, then the money gets filtered in other ways. And obviously, I know my campaign the most in the district a lot more than any outside ventures do. So I think I would be, both candidates would be spending the money a lot more effectively than an outside group. But that's what happens. And when you have that much money,
the sad part with the outside money, and it goes on both sides, is that it's the same message other than the name of the candidate, right?
Cookie cutters.
And it's like, how can all these people be that bad, right? The same. They get the same bad traits, right?
And whether it's positive, there's negative ones and positive ones.
It's just sad that we've reached the point where, and I think you're right. I think the general population has said enough. I'm sick of the robocalls. I'm sick of the,
Now, will you be on the same committees, or are you going to look for others, or does it matter?
Well, I was served on the Energy, Utility, and Technology Committee. I'm going to seek to try to get back onto that committee, possibly Ag or something like that, but, it all depends, the Speaker of the House gets to decide.
New drivers up there.
Yes, so, I get to plead my case, and we'll see where they want to stick me. So,
Well, we have the opportunity to see what partisanship really means, don't we?
Well, it's when we look at in the last 2 years, the budgets and everything, it was very high percentage of bipartisan across the board on the majority of the budgets, and most of the bills, very few actually came down right down to party lines. So hopefully that continues, and we can continue that. So I know when I submitted bills, that was one of the first things I looked for was trying to find obviously bipartisan support, because once you achieve that, then you have a much greater chance of obviously going forward with the bill. So and that'll be no difference. I have friends on both sides, and I have agreements on one side with one party and disagreements, and and vice versa. So that's just the case, I guess. But
Maybe we should invite John Tuttle over soon.
I think so.
I think it's important that we have some connection there.
Yep.
And I think he will listen.
that will be another. That's obviously new. Obviously Senator Courtney was known for a long time, but so it's gonna be a little bit different, obviously for me. New experience. So, but I've known John for a few years, and look forward to that relationship going forward. And see no reason why that won't work very well. So.
Yeah, I think and I shouldn't say disappointing thing with Senator Courtney. Understand that he had a different role, right, with the party and in the Senate. So it really took his time away from being able to look at, kind of the communities that are going on. Although he tried to keep very much in tune, right? But you don't see, when there's that much involvement in Augusta, you don't see the face as much as what you think you should, and those kind of things. So I'm not sure where John falls out in his party's pecking order up there, but that will have an influence on sometimes how often you see him, right?
John and the representative used to come in once a month to
Yeah.
give a report to the selectmen on what's going on.
So, good luck.
Thank you.
Different boat that you'll be rowing this time, but
Well,
you'll be on a different side of the boat, I guess is.
Yeah, different. The funny thing is, it was victorious in campaign, but I still have to clean my desk out and move to the other side. But anyways, same thing. Just call, contact me. Anything. Just don't hesitate, please. I'll be here as often as I can.
Good enough.
Great.
Thank
Take
you.
care. Thank you.
All right, the referendum, what do we want to, said that we would kind of recap. Not sure there's much to recap other than looking at the
Excuse me.
percentages. And
Yvette did a pretty good job.
yeah, I think she did a nice job with putting,
In regards to the referendum with the charter, if you appoint finance committee, remember July 1st.
yeah, and we had that discussion with
Okay.
the fact that it would change to a budget committee.
We're gonna do reappointments anyway.
Well, I would think that although the words were anybody that held an appointment would serve out the end of that appointment, right? I don't know if that
I
would be
think that was for
committee.
elected.
That was
Okay.
That was for elected, I'm sorry.
Well, I think, didn't we get a definition of the appointment of, would be to this end of their terms? So even though they're individually appointed for a year, we'll say them. Any comments or revelations that anybody saw? I mean, I was a little shocked at the first question. I mean, it was significantly defeated, but I think the feedback is it was all about money, which surprises me because you turn 3 pages over and you look at the bond issues from the state level and everybody goes, yeah, we like those.
I know that some of the concern was the endorsement at the bottom of the article was that the finance committee said not enough information, and there was people that thought that, well, if the finance committee doesn't have enough information, then we don't have enough information. So when this raises its head again at some future town meeting or referendum, I think it would be in our best interest, if we're promoting it, is to perhaps provide a little more in-depth education on exactly, what it entailed and how much money we'd be saving, both in economic costs plus the environmental impact of the salt disbursement down there leaching into the land. And,
No, we had some of those discussions.
yeah, we had some of those, but I don't know if we.
So I'm not sure that, and you gotta take people for what the comments they make, but would have been clearer if the finance committee had said no, a recommendation no? You think that would have had a different influence than?
No, I think that probably the end result would have been the same. It would have been defeated.
So I think the onus is on us, is if we get to a point where we're looking for a recommendation from the finance committee and they feel they don't have enough information, I think we need to react then.
Right.
To say, okay, why is it you don't have enough information? Because I think it should be a yes or a no.
Yeah, it should be up or down.
So
yeah.
really, I mean, shame on us for not making sure that they were clear on what.
And I think one other thing was, it was decided in June to get something to put on the November. So nothing happened till July, and really, to get the study done and get the plans, I think probably the plans was maybe 3 weeks before election. It wasn't to get the study and get everything
Yeah,
done.
it was certainly.
And at that point, the
dash.
finance committee didn't have enough information.
I'm not faulting them.
No.
I'm just saying that's a.
We had a tight time frame to get.
Yeah.
I'm thinking that, we were sold certainly on keeping the salt out of the rain and having it leach off and lose the salt, and also in contaminating the soil around the area. So that sold us, all 5 of us, on this. Yeah, I'm wondering now if there may be an alternative whereby I was watching television when they were doing a piece on Portland getting salt, and I looked at the structure there, and the structure was one that was built up with cement bricks, blocks, and then it had kind of a wire structure over the top with a fabric. And that certainly wasn't as good as what we were looking at, but I'm wondering if we could come up with an alternative design that could build the base of it, put in a temporary top to it to keep salt out of the rain, and do it for half price. Maybe people would buy it, and then you come back later, maybe in 5 years or whatever, and put a more substantial top on it for another.
I think in
Whatever.
the CIPs, I don't remember, it was last year, year before last, Tom had put one in for
It was a rub building.
a rub building
Yep.
for the same thing.
So I think, we come back and have another $500,000 building and people get mad. But you come back with something different and gets the job done that we want to get done, then, may well in June, they may buy it. But they're not going to be, I don't think they're going to be spending $500,000 on it.
No, and unfortunately, I think what also is not made very clear is that, we're probably in the most, or one of the most positive positions with relative to what we have bonded in this community, which is little to nothing anymore. I mean, it's really, this building, the fire building, I mean, there was a lot of things that was bonded, right? And we have very little stuff that is now bonded. So we gotta, this is a community with very, very little long-term debt, if any, really. I mean, when you look at $11 million budget and we owe $140,000 in long-term debt. I mean, that is really significantly low,
So
I'm
I
not
think
suggesting that we
it's a
just
job
go
for us
spend
to look heavily at in the next couple of months.
Anything else we wanna plow over? I think certainly the question 2 overwhelmingly 2 to 3 to 1 basically. And I think question 2 is complex as the charter amendments were, or charter revisions were. There didn't seem to be, usually when there's confusion, you get a split, right? So this was pretty clear. So.
There was no organized voice against the charter this time. I think there may have been some people talking about this could cost us money or something like that, but there was no organized voice out there against it.
I think that was in part to the groundwork that was laid too, and I think that publishing that entire piece in the Reporter, that people could actually read it, and then having it online and discussing it at several of the meetings, plus the discussions that individuals had with members of the committee itself. I think that went a long ways in getting the voice out that the people needed to hear, which is in contrast to what I think happened with the salt shed. Yeah.
Okay, well, it is what it is, and we move forward. Any old business that we failed to scrub onto the agenda yet? Other warrants and bills for payrolls, I'd entertain a motion for those. Approval of those.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? Minutes of the November 6th meeting.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? Thank you. And moving right along. Pending decisions, we got the PSAs, driveway opening permit, board and committee status. I think we're pecking away at the committee status fairly good. It would be nice to be able to get those two committees back up and running, both the EDC and the public safety, but it is what it is, right? Week's action list, I think we're set there. Discussion of agenda items next week. We have what scheduled, Christina?
We'll have Doug Foglio Jr. coming in.
Right, he's pushed a week, right?
That's about
Yeah, I gotta look at my notes. I think we had a couple of things that we were driving to the,
York County budget.
Yep, the York County budget, that's the one I was thinking. We decided to pull it off. We had it on here and pulled it Friday. We'll put it on next week. Anything else?
Do we have any, should we have a discussion before we leave tonight on what we're doing Wednesday night? The 14th?
14th of what?
I thought we were cooking.
Next month.
Oh, in December. Well, I assume that we're gonna be talking about that.
Let's talk about it in December.
Are you hungry, Gordon?
No, it's just that I'm mixed up right now. I thought it was November 14th.
No, that's okay.
I don't know why
Reporting is the
I just wanna be prepared.
Transfer Station Committee, Recycling Committee, and the Ecomaine rep, in the Transfer Station Manager, so make sure that we have that discussion, Dave, I guess, or anybody else relative to what's next for the committee, because I think that they certainly would like some guidance there as well. And you're right, there's a lot of those folks that have been around for a number of years, and it becomes a point of,
Yeah.
what are we doing next, right? So it would be nice to get a couple of some new blood there, and I think even though we're on our way to halfway through this year, as we approach next year, probably one of two different selectmen on that committee too would
Invigorate it.
Would invigorate it.
That's right.
All right. Items needing signature and payroll items needing signatures. Warrants, bills, and payroll. Minutes of November 6th. The abatements and also the general assistance maximum approval is a sheet in there. Just reminders, Road Review Committee tomorrow night, 6 p.m. at the Old Town Hall. 12 Town Group. We will be here next Monday night. I would presume discussion will ensue relative to the county budgets. Next Tuesday night, reporting the Transfer Station Recycling Committee, Eco Rep, and the Transfer Station Manager. Saturday the 24th, Saturday after Thanksgiving, cribbage tournament at the Old Town Hall at 8:30 a.m. November 26th, Monday night, Community Garden Committee at the Old Town Hall. That same night at 6:30, the Transfer Station Committee at the Old Town Hall. And 2 weeks from tonight, back here, reporting will be 2020 Master Planning Committee and the Cemetery Committee. That's an odd mix, but it is. Anything else? I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor? Opposed? Thank you and good night.